Hello guys, it's me again, Mr. Christopher Ody. Today we are here to solve this brief worksheet about the SOH CAH TOA rule. Okay, so let's start it. First of all, don't forget you have to load your scientific calculator. Okay, you have to load your scientific calculator. Here I'm using Desmos, but you can also have your physical calculator with you, so you choose. Alright, and we're gonna use such calculators to calculate tangent of angles or the inverse function of tangent. Alright, I have a video about it, so you can watch it previously before you watch this one. Alright, so if you have questions about how to use your calculator, but if you don't, let's go forward. Number one, okay, we have to find x here. So we have three relations: the sine, the cosine, and the tangent rule. The tangent rule is the only rule in which I don't have the hypotenuse on it. Okay, so as you can see, I don't have any information about hypotenuse, and it's not the side that is being asked for. Okay, that's why we must use here the tangent rule for both. So let's start. Here the angle is 53, so the tangent of 53. Okay, you can use brackets here. Maybe it's gonna be clear to solve the exercise. The tangent of 53 is going to be equal to. Now, one thing to be aware is the opposite side over the adjacent side. So opposite side is the side that the angle is looking at. Okay, or we can say that is the side in which the angle is not touching. Alright, so the opposite side is going to be 15. Okay, 15. And also the adjacent side is going to be x. Okay, it's going to be x. So we have to swap here the positions of the tangent, which is a number that you get from your calculator, and x, right? And x. So let's swap both. X is going to be equal to, once again, 15, alright? 15 divided by the tangent of 53. Okay, 15 divided by the tangent of 53. Now it's time to get our calculators. So let's go for Desmos. It's going to be 15 divided by the tangent of 53. Okay, 15 divided by the tangent of 53. And this is going to be 11.3. 11.3. Okay, centimeters, because the exercise is using centimeters. Right? This is the number one. Now number two. We have to use the same relation since we have the opposite side and the adjacent side, and we have no information about the hypotenuse. Alright? So the tangent again, we come back to black. The tangent again, now the tangent of 60 is going to be equal to the opposite side. Opposite side, the side in which the angle is not touching, 300. Okay, 300. Divided by x, the adjacent side, the side that we are looking for. Alright, let's swap again, x and the tangent. X is going to be equal to 300 divided by the tangent of 60. The tangent of 60 degrees. Okay, so here I go to my calculator. I'm gonna clear all. Let's go. 300 centimeters divided by the tangent of 60 degrees. Okay, it's in degrees. Don't forget about this detail. The answer here is 173.2. 173.2. I'm using just one decimal place. Okay, the question is not asking for 1, 2, or more decimal places, not asking for a specific number of decimal places, so I'm using just one. So here are the answers for number 1 and number 2, and the way to solve them using your scientific calculator. Okay? So if you are solving these questions on an exam, it's very important to show some steps. Okay? What are the steps that you need to show? You have to show exactly these steps here, okay? These are the steps that you need to show. The first step, the way that you put x, okay, alone in one side, we put x as the subject of the equation, and your result. This is very important, okay? Do it. Do these two steps before you give the answer. Don't just write down here the answer, because you may lose marks because you wouldn't show your work. All right, let's go for this one. Number 3. I'm gonna carry with me the rules. I'm gonna carry with me the rules. Let's go. Number 3. Now we have two sides. We have two sides, and we need to find an angle. So here the problem is different. We need to find an angle. Okay, previously we were working with a known angle and an unknown side, right? But now it's the opposite. I have two known sides and I need to find an unknown angle. So we're going to use the same relations, but now we're going to use the inverse function to find out the angle at the end. Alright, you're going to see that is pretty simple. So let's start. Once again, opposite side and adjacent side, so we are talking about the tangent. Okay, the tangent. But now I don't know the angle, so I'm going to use here the letter A for the angle. Okay, the tangent of A, because I'm using here as theta. I don't have theta here on my keyboard, so I'm using A as the angle. Okay, so tangent of A is going to be equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side, TOA rule. Okay, so opposite side 73. This is divided by 200. 200. Right. 200. Now A is going to be equal to the inverse function of tangent. Okay, I don't have I can't write down tangent power to -1 here, but I may try. Tangent of 73 divided by 200. 73, the tangent 73 divided, let me do it properly, 73 divided by 200. Okay, okay, this is going to be equal. Let me write down -1 there, because this is the symbol for the inverse function. Let me reduce here, -1. Okay, so -1 a tangent, the inverse function of tangent of this number here, 73 divided by 200. So we have to go for our calculator. I'm gonna use this one to help you. Okay, how to do this here? So again, to find the angle, the inverse function of tangent. So the inverse function can be accessed by pressing shift and tangent here. So we're gonna find tangent minus 1 representing the inverse function, the inverse tangent function. So inverse tangent of 73 divided by 200. Okay, if you want, you can close the bracket here, and then we're gonna find the answer by pressing equal. Okay, we put a little bit here by pressing equal. So I can see that the angle rounded to 1 decimal place is going to be equal to 20.1. Okay, 20.1. Let me try to 20.1 degrees. Alright, that's the final answer. It was pretty simple. The only thing that I need to know properly is how to get the inverse function of tangent to find the angle that is here, okay, being applied, in which the function is being applied. The function tangent of A is equal to 73 over 200, okay? So the inverse function, the inverse tangent function of 73 over 200 is going to give me the angle, okay, that was here inside the tangent function. This is 20.1 degrees, okay? And I used this calculator, but you can use another one. Take a look how I structured here. 73 divided by 200, okay? Let's go for the next question. Okay, now we have a question in which we don't have the drawing, okay? Of course, sometimes you're gonna face this kind of problem because the exam wants to know if you can construct, if you can create the problem on the paper, okay? So let's do it at first and then we solve it using the SOH CAH TOA rule. Let's go. A 3.8 ladder making a 65 degrees angle with the ground rests against a vertical wall. Find the distance of the base of the ladder from the wall. Okay, so we have a ladder in which I'm going to represent with red. Okay, I have a red here. I have a ladder. This ladder is actually leaning on a wall. Let me draw here the wall. Okay, is leaning on a wall, and we have also an angle here. This angle I'm going to represent with blue. I have an angle here. Okay, and let's type the values. Okay, 60 degrees. Let me reduce the size of my font here. 60 degrees here. Okay, put inside here 60 degrees. Also, I have the letter length. The letter length is 3.8 meters. 3.8 meters. So this is in red. And also I have to find the distance of the base of the letter from the wall. So we need to find the distance here on the ground. So I'm gonna write down this in green. X. X marks the spot. Okay, X is the length that I need to find. Okay, X. So let me draw this line here because I don't want you to be confused. The question is asking for this length. Okay, the distance from the base of the letter from the wall. Alright, now that we have our triangle, we can solve it. Let's go. So the first thing that we have to find is what is the proper relation that we must use to find x. Okay, Now that I have this angle 60 degrees, I can use it using one of these functions here to find x. This function must relate the adjacent side, because it's touching the 60 degrees angle, and the hypotenuse, okay, because the letter here is the hypotenuse, since it's the opposite side of the 9 degrees angle, okay. So the function that we must use must relate adjacent side and hypotenuse, and as you can see is this function. The cosine function is going to be equal to the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. So let's go for it. The cosine of 60 is equal to adjacent, which I don't know, okay, divided by the hypotenuse, 3.8. Okay, I have to pass 3.8 to the other side, since 3.8 is dividing in that side here, right? So when I pass it to the other side, I'm gonna find that x is equal to 3.8 times cosine of 60. So now it's easy to find the solution. X is equal to, take your calculator, clear all, 3.8 times the cosine of 60 degrees, 1.9 meters. Alright, that's the answer, 1.9. Okay, so I'm gonna solve number 5 and number 6 in the next video. I will split it in 2 videos, and so you can watch the 2 last exercises in next video. So see you there. Bye.